wanted to get all into that sort of serious songwriter thing because I had written some, you know, more for me or you know, a little more kind of outside the box that I usually work in songs. And so I was writing all this stuff that was almost like folk, you know. And I demoed the first 6 tunes. And I sent it out to my producer and all them guys. I got an email back, said there's no honky tonk songs in there. I wrote them back and I said, no, man, I've already done a honky tonk record. The last record was a honky tonk record, and the one before that was a honky tonk record. I got an email back and said, do you want your fans to hang you from a light pole? And I wrote back, what's that got to do with honky tonk records? And he said, well, 95% of your fan base heard about you in a honky tonk. They're gonna buy this record expecting a certain amount of honky tonk ravers. You have to have at least 3. I played y'all one a minute ago and said, here I go, I'm gone. This is another one. This is called Burning Down the Beer Joints.
It's like around on the other side here.
There ain't nothing that you could tell me that I still believe. Right now I can't hear a single word that you're saying to me. Like the first time that I saw you, I still love your smile. But from what I've heard, since I've been gone, baby, you've gone wild. You've gone out burning down the beer joints, ringing in the dawn. You've been sleeping out, honky tonk, oh, I'm going home. You've been taking up with God knows who. Up the town you've been at, burning in beer joints down. Well, I live in Colorado, outside on Fortune 2. I was just about to run it down when I lost my way. So called Jeep from the road, you said come on home. Before I could catch you right back here, baby, you were gone. You'd gone out burning down the beer joint, bringing in the dawn, sweeping out off honky tonk. Oh, I'm going on. You've been taking up with God knows who. Waiting up the town you've been at, burning in beer joints down. Well, I walked up on the porch and all the lights were lit, and I knocked and nobody answered, so I said a bit. And you come riding up in his new Cadillac, and I could see you had his name tattooed across your back. You've been out burning down the beer joint, ringing in the dawn. You've been sweeping out a honky tonk, oh, bound going on. You've been taking up God knows who, lighting up the town you've been out, burning in the beer joints down. You've been out burning down the beer joints, bringing you in the dawn, sweeping out the honky tonk, joints thing. Without burning them beer joints thing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's one of my kind of records that I'm obligated to write 3 of for every record. That's one of the 3 off the new record. And the other one I had already played. And I'm going to do a soft one. I wrote, this is actually a sweet song about a sad story. Except it wasn't really a sad story, just the ending was kind of sad. The main bulk of the thing was actually pretty magic and pretty cool. I had some friends. My friend Sue Donahoe wrote this book, and it's
Wow, Billy.
it's about the indie music explosion in the mid-90s when the technology suddenly made it where you didn't have to have $50,000 to make a record. You could make a radio quality record for, $3,500. And all of a sudden in Austin, there was all these projects, man. Just all these records, and all these little indie record labels springing up, and that's when I got my first record contract and made my first record, and it came out in '94. But her and her husband Mike Donahoe owned this little shop that was about as big as this bay window I'm standing in, and they had a little loft upstairs, and they called it their apartment. I mean, it wasn't even a good loft. It was like a half loft with like a bed built into the wall, and they lived there, and they sold these. They started trying to hawk Austin music to bands that they were hearing in the clubs and the venues around town. They would go and they would hear these groups, and they would hear guys playing. They would come up and they'd go, "Hey, you guys have a record out?" And at that time, a lot of bands were putting records out, and so they were stocking their store that way. And they thought, there's all this sort of underbelly, kind of undercurrent of all this cool music that nobody in Austin's ever heard of, and we'll bring it to light. And so they started trying to sell, indie Austin music to what they thought would have been interested Austin fans. And what they found out was, Austin has a hierarchy and a pecking order, and just like everywhere else. And the people that were already in the clique didn't want anybody else in the clique. There's a music journalist named Honest John Conquest. He used to call that being world famous in Austin. It's like, you're a big deal in Austin. Nobody anywhere else knows you. Well, what Sue and them started doing, and they didn't realize it at the time, they had one of the, that was like the internet wasn't what it is now. They started advertising online and all these little independent European magazines, and they started noticing about 80% of their clientele were Europeans on vacation. And they would come in to their shop and they would spend $500 and buy one of everything there. And they started really hawking some of the artists, and then they made some deals with radio and some record stores in Europe. So they started doing quasi-distribution. And that's when I first started really selling records and first got on the radio, more than once. And they had no idea at the time that, that anybody out there was listening. They were just running this little bitty shop next to a graphic print company down on 5th Street. And they were in that place for, I don't know, about 6 years, and Mike, her husband, his mom got sick. So they moved back to Corpus Christi so they could take care of her. Well, Mike's family was one of the early founding families of Corpus Christi. They had a lot of money. And so after Mike's mom passed, they'd been living in this damn hovel and running this, little 5-dime record store and doing all this stuff that were making them undergroundly famous. And and they had no money at all. They quit smoking because it cost too much. But all of a sudden they were sick. And I got a call one day from Sue, and Mike was sick, and his prognosis was really bad. Sue was working a festival down in Corpus, and she was the MC and the stage manager and all that stuff. And she called. When I heard about Mike, I called her up and I said, "So what do you need me to do?" She said, "I need you to come down here and MC this festival and stage manage and just kind of make it go smooth. And do that 2 days, and I'll put you up, give you $500 while your meals are go." I said, "Okay. When do you want me here?" She said, I needed you here 6 hours ago." And I said, "Okay, I'm on my way, and I'll be there in 3 hours." And, but so when I saw her, she said, "You know, we have a limited amount of time yet left. I don't want to lose any of it monkeying with a music festival, you know. So thank you for doing this." And I wrote the song for her. Sadly, Mike didn't get to hear it. We were actually doing the demo when he passed away. And like I said, the ending is sad. The story, their story is great, and the song's actually kind of cheery. So anyway, it's called "Run On That Baby," or "Ride On That Baby." It was originally called "Run On That Baby," and there was a typo in the book that called it "Ride All Night," and the album wasn't out yet, so I just changed the title to match the book. Because I can do that. I wrote the song. You can't tell me I did it wrong. You can't tell me the title's wrong. I wrote it. This ain't 30 years that we thought we'd have. We just took off though, and then we're where we're at. Oh, and you still look the same to me as before your hair turned gray. But now the fire's burning low, it's getting late. We can run all night now, baby, baby. We can go anywhere you want. And all you gotta do is tell me where you want to go. And on through the night now, baby, baby. Watch the stars bouncing off the road. And all you gotta do, tell me where you won't go. And we can run all night now, baby, baby. Still we have some things we never thought we'd get. But it ain't what you got until you get it with. And if you'd still ride beside me, I'd still drive you anywhere. Now the moon's almost down and we're almost there. We can run all night now, baby, baby. We can go anywhere you want. And all you gotta do is tell me where you want to go. Down through the night now, baby, baby. Watch stars bouncing off the road. And all you gotta do is tell me where you want to go. We can run all night now, baby, baby. Still look the same to me as before your hair turned gray. and the fire's burning low. It's getting late. We can run all night now, baby. We can go anywhere you want. And all you gotta do is tell me where you want to go. On through the night now, baby. What the stars dancing on the road. And all you gotta do is tell me where you want to go. We can run all night now, baby. Sing yourself in. I'm gonna put a little bit of my honky tonk out here. Being a honky tonker, I've been married 3 times. Because being in a honky tonk road band didn't really conducive to married life. I never thought about that the first 2 times I got married, you know. Back when I was younger, I didn't do a whole lot of cause and effect reasoning. Me and my reasoning went on a real pretty short loop. But I was married to my second ex-wife, my other ex-wife, and I was kind of on the down low seeing the girl I'm married to now. And when I used to go by her house, I jumped up on the highway, expressway in Austin. The exit for her house, it used to say Airport Boulevard 1 mile. It's on the expressway, so you can't get on or off. You got 1 mile of just straight. I heard the song about her and for her, driving over to her house to see her. It's called Burning Me Down. Well, it might have been August, or hell, it might have been June. I felt the heat from the sidewalk through the soles of my shoes, and I thought it was the weather, and then I found out it was just you. That was bringing the heat around. Oh yeah, baby, it's burning me down. Well, your house ain't far, and I could drive for a while, and you can pass a lot of cars for 1 more mile. I see you standing in the doorway, in the shade you already like. Bringing in the heat around. Oh yeah, baby, it's burning me down. At night, while I'm laying in my bed, those thoughts of you just won't stop running through my head. is the way you are, and all the things you see, and the way you keep looking at me that way. And I never want to find out if it gets colder when you're gone. Bringing me around, oh yeah, baby, it's burning me down. You're bringing the heat around, oh yeah, baby, it's burning me down. It's burning me down. It's burning me down. Thank you so much. Now I'm doing another song that was on the record right after that one. And this is about, well, that song actually sort of overlapped two wives. It was really about the one I'm married to now. Well, y'all got the backstory. Y'all are here. And I know I explained that pretty well. The song I'm writing now, it happened right after that one. Chronological. The song's called Hey Maria. Hey Maria, you're looking like you're thinking about moving. Well, I don't think it's gonna get any better than this. No matter how we try, we can't keep it in the lines. Won't you